Hello. I am sitting in my car. I just got done dropping off my two little ones. And whenever that happens, I get flooded with the reality in which I am in. From previous videos or writings, anybody who has read that or followed anything that or heard anything that I have been saying and talking about, you will realize why my mind goes to these places. 6 years ago, I call it a bomb went off. Something happened to my family at the time that devastated us still to this day. There's been massive ripples and some even hurricane tidal waves as the result of what happened 6 years ago. Right after that happened, my psyche fragmented. It splintered because I call it a starburst. When everything that you've ever believed in or hoped for gets pulled from you like a rug, you're looking at all these pieces that used to be the pillars in your mind. And so for multiple reasons, a few of my major pillars, even up to that starburst or that bomb that went off, I had already experienced major pillars being shattered in my mind growing up in my childhood and during my first marriage. So 6 years ago, when this pillar went off and the intersections that it crossed was so severe, I believe that spiritually God took me, my spirit, my soul, to a different place, and he showed me these visions that are so real still within my mind and my heart. And as I'm walking this path here, it is very evident at which the Lord showed me 6 years ago spiritually. And so I'm seeing it in the physical and I saw it in the spiritual 6 years ago. And it's not that I want it to make sense. So it's making sense in the picture of seeing all the pieces now together, but it will never make sense in how it's supposed to be. 6 years ago, I had this vision. I was taken to this place, seemed to be a courthouse or a courtroom. And I knew it was the highest level, so the highest of the highest elite, superior courtroom I had found and entered into. The room was circular. And it was dark, very, very dark. But when you walk in the middle of the room, there was like a light that was not very bright either. It was dim on top of me. And when the dim light turned on, I could look around the whole circular room, and there was a table that was wrapped around the circle room. There was officials all lined up around me. I didn't know their ranking. They seemed very official because they had, the suits and stuff like that. You wouldn't be able to differentiate the levels or the ranks. You wouldn't be able to know the different agencies or anything like that. They all looked the same. There's a few things that scared me the most. One of the things that scared me was nobody said anything. So it was just a room and everyone was just staring at me. And I was confused and upset. And I was looking at all of them, and their faces started to change. It was very real to me. And I started seeing very clearly, like almost every other, that there were demons and angels. So there was demons, like what you see in the movies, and then there was angelic beings. There was angels and demons in the uniforms, in the circular room, dark circular room, and I was standing in the middle, and they just all stared at me. And it was at that point that I realized and knew and could see spiritually what really was happening and what was going on. And at that time, 6 years ago, I want to say that the demonic side, in their silence, wanted me to believe that the fear in seeing that the angels were sitting there seeing too and not saying anything. I believe they wanted to instill in me or inflict in me the concept that there was no more good left in this place. That even the angels in the uniforms are subject to them and are silent and are watching too. So, yeah, my psyche fractured in that moment, because it's like, if there isn't any good left or any more justice left, what is left? It was at that point too where I felt this spirit of like mockery over me, where I could even see flashes of laughing, like uncontrollable, but it's like it's a fear inflicted, and that's funny feeling. Like, I'm trying to explain it, how it feels. It doesn't feel good. I've had other really lucid dreaming visions about different things, I believe, that are highly alarming, and I'm tapping into the messages of end times. Wherever you want to pull your news from, or your sources, your facts and findings, your laws and policies throughout all the agencies. The Wi-Fi, we tap into Wi-Fi and sign up on Instagram and follow Twitter and all this, right? Technology. There is a spiritual technology that is like that. Tap into that. There's messages in that spiritual connection that is more real than the reflections that are being told here in this place. And I just want to tell everybody that I see it. I see it. I could stand here and say and be a witness and say that I do see the spiritual war and happenings behind the scenes throughout all the agencies. And so it's real scary. It's like, that's going to be the defining line. You know, all these different movements are happening right now. It's going to be light or dark, not white or black.